I'm your huckleberry.
You look like somebody just walked.
Wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You merely adopted the dark.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Cuddy say can't hang.
Oh, stewardess, I speak jive.
Oh, good.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Not the
Yo. Yo. He and I is him. Peace, power, and prosperity to the village gang. You already know what to do when we pull up into the town square where all is clean, all is love, and all is fair. Back again with you for a second night, morning, day, in a row. And I can't lay up off it, man. I told you it's gonna be part two. Is Charlie Kirk really deceased? And it seems like every 6 hours something happens. Every 6 hours something new pops up. So your boy Tyler Robinson went to court today. Day one. That has begun. He don't look too much phased. He don't look like somebody that's staring down the electric chair, right? Or the shot, or whatever they do over there in Utah. He don't look like somebody that has that sentence looming in the back of his mind, looming over his head, dampening his spirits. He don't look like that at all. Candace and Erika still going at it. And then it's like day 2 or day 3 of it. Talking to each other through podcasts or whatever the case is. And I tell you what, the more that this shit goes on, there's the more it's looking like Charlie was actually sleeping with the enemy. It does look that way to me, from my perspective, from where I stand. Simply because of the odd behaviors of the people that surround him. I saw the hand. I saw the hand on when Erika Kirk made the video. I get it. I understand what people are saying. Completely get it. But the more unauthentic this shit looks, the more muddy it looks. To me, from my perspective, it really looks like that man was taken out simply because of his change in mind and heart and how he felt about the controversial people that live in that small nation that's surrounded by a lot of big nations. We saw the text messages. We knew what was said. We know he lost a big donor right before. We know he asked for an audit for the company. I'm still on the stance that he is gone. But I cannot say that the evidence that people are producing and the questions that are coming up are not feasible questions, statements, opinions, that this man might actually still be here, hiding away in Cuba. Who knows where he's at, right? But the reality is, when something lacks a certain level of transparency, that's the birth of what they want to call conspiracy, right? What they want to call conspiracy theorists and conspiracy theories, they have birth in the lack of transparency. If TPUSA wasn't acting so weird, I guarantee you, there probably would be some conspiracy theories out there, but it would not be at this range and this volume and magnified to this level. I could promise you that. From the FBI to TPUSA to the to Erika to I guess the security team is TPUSA, I guess. All right. Just even when you look at the Tyler Robinson scenario, it kind of don't work, right? It just doesn't work. That man is in court looking stress-free, like he ain't staring down the needle. For me, it ain't working. But like I said, the lack of transparency the lack of questions, the lack of authenticity, right? The sheer way how they portray themselves, like with the lack of care. That's where these conspiracy theories are being birthed from. Believe it, don't believe it, stand where you want to stand, have your own opinions. Another thing that makes this thing look crazy too is when you asking these questions, you get attacked. You're asking more questions and showing more concern and putting more energy towards your friend. Right? You would think the energy that Candace has, the tenacity, the drive, the dedication to this would be the same energy that the wife would have. But it's not there. Without further ado, I'm about to start the show. You already know. Time to go. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate y'all hitting the buttons. Appreciate y'all liking, sharing, replay gang. I see y'all out there. I appreciate all of it. I appreciate all of it. Shout out to Didi Got a Podcast. Shout out to Kim Iverson. Shout out to Jimmy Dore. Shout out to Candace. Without further ado, let's start the show. Yo, he and I him. Slim, trim, and I'm built to it. And I am Granny's baby numero uno, the real McCoy. Flaco Fuerte. Yo! Hope everybody's having a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Whatever time it is, wherever you are at, I hope it is being well to you. I hope you're being well to it. Hope you're taking care of yourself. And I hope you're enjoying this thing that we call life. I want to start off with, Jimmy Dore, right? The Jimmy Dore and them over there. I think it's Kurt Metz that be over there with him a lot. Shout out to that crew over there at the Jimmy Dore show. Here we go. I was gonna play the background music, but the background music is more for like when we're chilling, having a light day, night, which is tonight anyway. So tonight I have the other show coming up. You know we say on Fridays, man, fuck that week. You hear me? So fuck that week will be tonight. Pull up. You already know how we get down on the Friday nights. We be just in there maxing and relaxing for sure. Ready to roll? Let's go. Let me turn up the play speed. And we in.
It's like there's some pyramid scheme going on behind the scenes at Turning Point that Charlie did not know about originally. And I think that he was planning to expose that. And that's ultimately what got him killed.
So now there are a couple of whistleblowers that are coming forward inside TPUSA to tell you, yes, there were some real shady people surrounding Charlie, and they have a lot of financial crimes to cover up.
My name is Joshua Peterson. I worked for Turning Point USA and Turning Point USA Fate, and I knew Charlie Kirk personally. I want to say on the record that there was a inner circle at Turning Point USA that was constantly working against Charlie and his interests and what he wanted to do, as well as there was a Jewish influence in Turning Point that he was not very fond of, that he wanted to get rid of. He tried doing this. He tried creating a Doge department, and he gets assassinated. Another thing that makes me believe this inner circle was constantly working against Charlie was because of the fact that he had a whole entire branch of Turning Point that he had no idea about, and that was the stock market branch. Now, the thing about this branch is it's been getting millions of dollars poured into it over the past 4 years now, and that's been seen through their latest tax returns, which were also filed late, which is weird, but that's a topic for another time. This stock market group that Turning Point has been throwing millions of dollars into the stock market for the past 4 years now, and Charlie Kirk had no knowledge of that whatsoever. Now, if you also look into it a little bit deeper, if you look at the staff on that branch specifically, it says zero. It says there's nobody employed in that branch, yet they're pouring $5 million into funds for employees. Make it make sense. That sounds like money laundering to me. It sounds like there's some pyramid scheme going on behind the scenes at Turning Point that Charlie did not know about originally. And I think that he was planning to expose that. And that's ultimately what got him killed. A lot of people are asking, did you really work for Turning?
That was my initial take yesterday. That's one of the takes that, well, not initial one, but that was one of the takes that I had of why he's not here, right? He found out some shady shit was going on. The knights at the round table betrayed him. That's what I'm standing with. That's what I'm looking at it from that angle.
Turning Point USA, and yes, I did.
Sandra, what up?
I'll tag some photos in the next clip just to show
She get a morning boo, but I get a, you know what?
you guys that I did work for them.
Okay, there you go. There's one. Here's another one.
I'm just going to say what I have to say, and if it lands in the right hands, whatever. My name is Amanda. I've tried to record this like 7 times and it's just not working. So I'm just going to say what I have to say. And if it lands in the right hands, whatever. My name is Amanda. I worked for Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk for 4 years. One of those years, I was a donor relations officer in Phoenix, Arizona. And that means is I worked with all the donors within a certain region for all of Turning Point's assets. So Turning Point Action, Turning Point Academy, Turning Point USA, Faith, Blexit, podcasting, everything. When I saw Candace Owens' comment this morning, granted, I am not a Candace Owens fan personally, and that comment, I felt like I had to say something. What I did for Turning Point USA within that department was some of the most, I can't even begin to describe it, because the people that I felt like I was working for were not, they were horrible. I mean, like, it was just some of the worst times ever. And I was working for such an amazing, brilliant idea of an organization, and to see it for what it really was behind the scenes and what makes it Turning Point, which is money. I mean, I'm sorry, but it is. That's how it works in the nonprofit world. It took me so much towards the end not to tell donors to take their money elsewhere.
Okay. And
That's not saying. Let her keep going.
oh, and did I cut her off at the end?
Sounded, but
Did she have more to say?
just
So
She didn't say nothing. I guess Jimmy about to go clarify it, but she didn't say anything in that whole thing. That was a very circular fucking conversation she had.
here's Candace Owens. I received information last night that put the final pieces together for me. I can now say with full confidence that I believe Charlie Kirk was betrayed by the leadership of Turning Point USA and some of the very people who eulogized him on stage. Yes, I will be naming names and providing evidence for my claims, and I'm making a personal plea to every well-meaning person who donated to this godforsaken organization to request a refund. You were lied to, and leadership knew. So that's, I think, the tweet she was responding to. And
If I'm correct on time, could this be the one? Could this be the tweet that triggered TPUSA to try to have a sit down? When I say try, I mean literally they tried to pretend and act like they wanted to sit down with her. In our reality, it was just some bullshit, to be honest. It was some bullshit. The stipulations and the wording of it and how it came out and the invitation, all this bullshit. It was bullshit. But could this tweet been the catalyst? I now can say with full confidence that I believe Charlie Kirk was betrayed by the leadership at TPUSA. That puts a bullet in a certain room. Not the people in the mailroom, not HR department, not quality assurance. The leadership. In the leadership room, the round table, like I mentioned yesterday. Somebody at the round table, people, leadership is a weird word. When you talk about leadership as an attribute, it's used to display qualities. But when you use leadership in this framework, you're talking about a room full of people that's running the organization, right? CFOs, CEOs, COOs, CCOs, whatever, right? You're talking about the room of leadership. So it's more than one person. That's what I'm taking it as. And I believe it's more than one person, especially when she comes down into the third line, not paragraph, but leadership at Turning Point USA and some of very people who eulogize him on stage. All right, cool. The next line says, yes, I will be naming names. So that signifies and verifies, confirms that it's more than one person. You dig it? So now, if you go back, the people who eulogized him, you could go to the TPUSA website and see who's a part of the leadership block. So you kind of like narrow it down who is who and who she's referring to. I'll be naming names that provided evidence for my claims. I think this might have been it. If my timing is correct, because today is the 12th. I think the date they set for it was the 15th in person. I think this week started off with the what this week started as the 8th was Monday. This might have been it. Even if, because that would have been, yeah, this might have been it. I'm thinking this might have been the one who put them in motion to pretend and act. You got it.
There you go. There was a lot of rotten people around Charlie, and whistleblowers are coming forward. And TPUSA, the people who are there now, cannot stop gaslighting, non-stop gaslighting. They just got caught ducking having Candace Owens on their show after they famously invited her on their show, and now they won't invite her on. Now she's not a guest. We're not inviting a guest. So her on their show, and now they won't invite her on. Now she's not a guest. We're not inviting a guest. So it's amazing, but there it is. Okay, if you'd like to hear more jokes about this, come see me January 11th. That's right, January 11th in Waikiki, and then January 30th at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles.
My timing could be wrong, but if my timing is right, this would be the catalyst for it. I just looked at the calendar. I don't think it was that many days ago that they sent out that invite. I have to do a little background on it. To do a quick run on it. I'll probably have it loaded and stashed somewhere. But yeah, Jimmy though, big salute, my G. Appreciate you. Back on me like the homie be saying. I absolutely believe he found some shit. That doesn't mean and necessarily take away the fact that he could have still faked his own, right? Faked his own deletion, faked his him being deceased. Finding out that it's corrupt and seeing the direction it's going in. Foresight could be a motherfucker. He could have said it, but then again, come back to the security team. I mean, the security team is in on it. Right? So I'm playing tennis with this ideology of him still being alive. I'm playing tennis with it back and forth, making an argument, devil's advocate, I want a devil's advocate, that argument. I'm just back and forth with it because it's so fucking muddy and lacks so much transparency. It's not even funny. Let's roll on to the next jank you heard. Let's take a let's oh God. This girl Erika, man. The thing about it is though, she just lacks, sounds like scandal. It's nasty work. It's nasty work going on. Nothing she's done so far has felt authentic. It lacks compassion. It lacks feeling. It's not touching. It doesn't touch. Let's look at this interview she did with Fox real quick. Boom, draw. Let me see what you got, Sandra. Claiming that they love him, but they don't want to even figure out what you're. That's the wildest shit to me ever, yo. That is the wildest shit ever. Candace acting like she the damn wife. She got more static and stain for everybody acting funny than the wife did. I got something. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring up something that's looming in the back of my mind. And I think I'll bring it up coming down to the end of this, because I'm gonna bring it up coming down to the end. Because the title of the show is Sleeping with the Enemy. Part 2 is Charlie Kirk really deceased, right? I'm gonna bring it up at the very end. So stay tuned. I got something to loom in the back of my brain.
Erika Kirk sharing her journey with America and the world. We are grateful at Fox to have her here to shine a light on healing as we all miss and mourn the loss of her beloved Charlie Kirk. Not all of her journey has been without, well, hate, conspiracies, and oddly, speculation about where her husband is buried. Now, for the first time, Erika, who's with me now, addresses all of it from the perspective of a grieving widow, a mom, and a battle-tested American. Good to see you again today. Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing?
Nah.
Can I have one thing?
Nah.
Can my children have one thing?
Nah.
Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie.
Remember what the fuck, remember what we're looking at.
But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing.
A secular. What is this? What is this going to? What is it going to do? What? This is so. Let's go back. Breathe with me, dog. Breathe with me, dog.
Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing.
She labels it conspiracies out the gate. You see how you set the playing field for the conversation? So now, subconsciously, whatever is coming out, right? Whatever people are saying about this, because she just labeled it conspiracy, what it does, it paints and stains it. So now it's not just questions. It's not just questions of concern, questions of curiosity. What it turns into now, it's conspiracy. And if y'all know what conspiracy theorists came from, where that was birthed and why it was birthed, then you could see how that term conspiracy and conspiracy theorist becomes a label to people that just ask questions for things that doesn't make sense or things don't register in their mental centrifuge. Right? When they spin shit around, it's just not fucking working. It's not blending well together. It's just not working. And people are saying something's wrong. But when you ask these questions and you raise your hand and you say, yo, hey, you're something ain't right, dog. Something's wrong with you now. Now you get labeled. You're the fucked up person for not accepting a narrative that just ain't fucking working. You the one that's fucked up.
Disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing?
Pay attention to what we're looking at. I'm going to show you something later on.
Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be.
What the fuck is the point of it? It's going to be beautiful so the world could see. His journey is pretty much documented. His stance in life is pretty much documented. His conversation is documented. His ideology is documented. His face is documented. Everything about him is already documented. Why does he need a memorial at TPUSA? What is it going to do? The world is going to see.
Spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But
Wouldn't it be your Charlie first? You so hellbound dedicated. There is no our Charlie. There is no our Charlie. It's you. This shit is so fucking dry and fake, dog. I swear it down. This shit don't connect, but keep watching.
And I have one thing. Can my baby?
I want you to watch and listen. I get it. I'm a listener too. Sometimes I don't be watching. But it's an image that's being cast in front of us right now. And I'm going to pair that image before I close the show up.
Have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying. One thing.
Why would your daughter be praying at the grave? You're going to build a museum-style monument for our Charlie. But there's no location put out there. So some secular revolutionist to destroy it while your daughter is praying. You see how these things not connecting? Erika, we don't know where Charlie's buried. The reason why you don't know where Charlie's buried because I want that to be private for me and my family. Good answer, Erika. Moving on. Can I have one thing? Can I have everything else is public? Can I have one? Can I have one? Park that shit elsewhere, dog.
This is my husband.
I ain't jacking it, dog.
Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband.
The finger of authority. I'm telling you, you gotta watch this shit.
And I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking
What about his parents?
from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing.
They definitely taking your time. They definitely taking your energy. Definitely. You definitely getting tapped like a motherfucker. There's no way you don't wake up every day and hear Candace's name. Ain't no way. She on your fucking heels. What's up, Red? You know the shit.
It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah.
And here goes church. Trifecta. Church, kids, and feel sorry. Can I have one thing? The sympathy plea. With a little bit of ice in the grass. People love them, and I'm so grateful. Get that shit the fuck up, man.
He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it.
So why don't y'all just come out and say that then? Isn't that easy? That's easy as fuck. Instead of saying silly shit like, it is outrageous that you would even think that we would have anything to do with this. It is outrageous. The things that we are hearing are outrageous. This is. I just tell Candace, shut the fuck up and provide the proof. Oh, okay.
We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband.
That dude's already in court. Shouldn't y'all have all the fucking evidence already? If court is started, shouldn't y'all have all the fucking evidence? Or he's not in court yet? Was it like a prelim or something? Am I mistaken? And that's a prelim and y'all still digging up evidence to put this fucking case together?
And for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on.
I'm showing you these images for a reason. You building. All right, you busy building.
Nah.
All right, got it.
Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want. Go down that rabbit hole, whatever.
You just sister girl the fuck out of this shit.
But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars.
Don't fuck with the gang, got it.
My family, my Turning Point USA.
She's never come against your family. Ever. Never, not one time has she come at your family. But now you gotta say, clarification, your TPUSA family. One dude got exposed for being a racist. Another dude got exposed for having some weird SA behavior. This is your family, though. That's your gang. Say lies.
Say family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode, going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this. No.
Yes. Because they started fucking lying. That's how. I don't care what nobody say. When that motherfucker started lying about where Charlie Kirk started to stand, that's a fucking lie. When they lied about them fucking drones, when security team and people thought the drones, that's a fucking lie. Just that simple. The drone lie was later on, but one of the initial fucking lies that came out of that camp was that Charlie had never had a different thought or feeling about the donors and how the people, the Zionist people, were living and walking and behaving like every negative stereotype. That's a fucking lie. Huh? Let me get my dick gravy. Huh? Full of fucking shit. Sandra. Can I make money at the film? Oh, what? They went crazy at they went dumb diggy dumb dumb. You are correct. Yes, they went dumb. They went dumb. You defending people of bad character that lied about the man you swear to God that you love so much that every time you turn around, you bring up God and your religion and your Christian Zionism behavior and church and you wearing your cross and you always got you talking about Nehemiah and he's built. What the fuck? This shit has no linear attack. This is like spaghetti. This shit is straight fucking spaghetti. Anything, anytime, any place, anywhere, mix the fucking shit up, throw in the kids, throw in the word family, act so stop. I'm not jacking it, dog. I'm not jacking it.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, This is righteous.
But if we be honest, then Candace been making that type of money before Charlie Kirk not here. So before Charlie Kirk wasn't here, while he was here, while you was here, while TPUSA was booming over there, Candace was over there still making that type of bread. So to try to align it like she's making hella bread simply based off of this topic, that's a lie. So now you join the lie gang too. People want to call it disingenuous and say, no, it's a lie. It's a lie. Because now what you want to do is manipulate more people into believing that she did actually, or she is actually using the topic as a point to gain revenue. So now what you're doing is being disingenuous and also at the same time lying. Because you know better than that, because Charlie was her fucking friend. And you know her because y'all hung out together. You're lying.
It's anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is.
It's not about healthy. But if you want to talk about healthy,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Not today.
you on bullshit. It's written all over your face. It's written all over your face.
A mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French.
Are y'all allowed to say hell? And hell's not French. I think it'd be called like lay, heel. How you say L's in French? Je m'appelle, je m'hell. Excuse my French. I'm pissed off to hell.
But this is not okay.
So you want to.
You're right. It's not okay for y'all to keep fucking lying. Absolutely correct. It's not okay that y'all just sit there day after day after day after day and act like we don't see y'all for who the fuck y'all are. It's not okay for you to call these people with these fucked up character flaws your family. It's not okay that you want to throw your children in the mix to seek sympathy. It's not okay for you to sit here and dab your fucking eyes like you're really fucking crying. Stop. Quit the shit. Nobody's jacking it. The gig is up.
To put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from.
I don't care what box you're in.
Now she's sister girling again. You see that? Hold on. I'm gonna show you the sister girl hand. She been doing it all night. She been sister girl in this shit all night. Watch.
These people back in the box where they've been.
Girl, let me tell you right the fuck now. Watch.
Creeping from.
I don't care what box you're in.
Oh.
But just know that your words are very powerful and we are human. My team are not machines and they're not robots.
My team is not machines and they're not robots? What does that even mean?
They are human.
Okay.
We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. I have, you name it, we have it. And my poor.
I ain't jacking it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why would you have threats? If you're the victim of something, why would you be threatened now? Why are they being threatened now? Because I'm of the belief that the majority of people running around here are believing what the Fed is saying. I'm of the belief that the majority of people running around believes that Candace is full of shit, Tucker's full of shit, people like me, Dee, Ian Carroll, Nate, Jesse, people that are just thinking about this thing in a different way and looking at things that is not really lining up. Jimmy Dore, Kim Iverson, that are just thinking about things, looking at things from a different angle. I believe it's more people. I believe it's less of us that are really just thinking about this thing and asking these questions or having these thought pieces. I think you have more people on your side. I don't see why you would be. I don't see it. It doesn't make sense.
Team is exhausted, and every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there.
We all watched it. Everybody watched it. It literally stormed the internet when it happened. Everybody watched it. So for everybody that was loved Charlie, like you say, you're grateful that many people loved him. Everybody's traumatized. Everybody felt trauma. I think Dee said some shit like he cried about it or some shit like that.
There that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
You know,
because they lack transparency and they've been fucking lying. What part are you not comprehending about this shit? Why are you negating the lies that came out of that camp? They're being exposed constantly because y'all simply act fucking awkward, weird, and shady all at the same time. And that's supposed to be accepted because y'all are the TPUSA family. Okay, cool. In a regular investigation, when somebody gets knocked off, who are the first people that benefit from this person being knocked off? The person's fucking family. So that naturally and automatically makes the person's family, guess what? Suspects 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's why. And being a suspect and you're fucking lying, y'all full of shit, inauthentic, full of fuckery, took that man's ceremony and turned it into a fucking campaign. This shit like a fucking Republican MAGA rally. But we're supposed to accept the fact that y'all are in such detriment, such pain when y'all took all this bread. Stop it. Like they say, follow the money. Oh, we did that yesterday when we realized that y'all didn't file for the other companies that were under TPUSA. When Wolf of Finance brought that part up, we already brought up the fact that the money looking funny. And also that he asked for a fucking audit. And then he turns up. But before that, he would say he's not fucking with it. So there's so many points of contention listed of why you might want to get rid of him. But you think that we should ignore these points because y'all are the family. No, normally y'all are the first suspects. Hold on, do I have the button? Yeah, Carl, that's how I know I'm good. The way she was up. Yo, that part right there, Sandra, let me say that shit right. Let me say that shit right the fuck now, G. I have to connect between Jay. Oh my God, Sandra. Stop playing with me, dog. Oh, stop playing with me, bruh. Stop playing with me, bruh. I'm out in them streets too, dog. What you talking about? I had the connection between JD and her. A good fucking connection. And that's why this is just part 2. It's going to be a part 3. Probably a part 4. But I have the fucking connection between her and JD. Which makes sense when I bring up this part later on. And that's how I'm going to show y'all. So let's keep rolling because I don't want to hold y'all too long. I know y'all getting coffee and drinking y'all teas and doing y'all yogas and laying there. Ladies probably laying there with their t-shirt and their Adina Howard on. You hear me? Getting the Adina Howard on in the middle of the night. Shout out to y'all. I would never hug another man like that. The hug thing wasn't the thing for me. The hug thing, I saw it. I was like, but I know what y'all saying. I see what y'all be saying. I see it.
The conspiracies that are out there.
I just look at things like how heavy they are. Bonnets. Adina Howard didn't wear no bonnets. It wasn't no bonnets and my t-shirt on. No, it wasn't bonnets and t-shirts. Relax. I'm done playing with y'all. Let's be serious. This is madness. True in and true out. Across the board. But I had the link between the JD and her link.
For all of the like. Do you think?
And it goes to the president.
That there is more of it.
And then it goes to the people, the controversial people from that small country that's surrounded by a whole bunch of big countries with the blue and white flag and the star.
Now, because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's what? The conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, seriously.
Oh, now you're making jokes. Now you got time for jokes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Not today.
If you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care. I don't. This was happening before Charlie was murdered. Both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you whatever they want to call you. They will. But I have seen it firsthand impact the people that I love, and I'm done. I'm done. And if people think that I was just going to will you, they will. But I have seen it firsthand impact the people call you what I don't. This was happening before you want to find and pick me up before Christmas. Like this point, it's what the conspiracy.
Stain this image in your brain. This image right here. Stain it in your brain. 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 I'm showing you before I close this motherfucking show out.
Conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, seriously. If you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care. I don't. This was happening.
You care. You care. That's why you're addressing shit right now. You married a political person that had the power to galvanize the youth in America, the new leaders, right, of the American world. Did it publicly and did it proudly. Y'all shared pregnancies, y'all shared the kids, y'all been sharing everything. So you could address these things in a whole different manner, right? But no. The way you address anything is on purpose. You are so high profile that they send you these questions and prep these shows for you. There is no way you are walking into the studio blindfolded and it's getting shotgun sniped questions sent at you. Not happening. Not gonna happen. Nah, you're too high profile. Has to be so pristine and planned and laid out. I think I know what I'm looking at. I'm telling you, I'm gonna drop a banger at the end.
Before Charlie was murdered, both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you whatever they want to call you. They will. But I have seen it firsthand impact the people that I love, and I'm done. I'm done. And if people think that I was just going to wilt away, I'm not going to sit in a corner and cry and be in fetal position. This is a duty to my husband, and it's an absolute honor, and I will never back down. And so my message to them is to stop. To stop.
And that's what we will say here on Outnumbered 2. God bless you. Hold up your book.
Book tour complete. Interview complete. Let me kick that. Boom drop. Stop in the name of God. Strange. Let's jump into let's go look at the homie. Let's go look at the homie Kim Iverson. Brutes. Put this over here. Boom. I gotta make another one. Hope y'all enjoying this show, this beautiful start of Friday. It could be lunchtime. Wherever you at, you could be launching it up, thugging it out like a real G supposed to. You could be thugging it out like a real G supposed to. I hope y'all off today too. I hope y'all getting some time off. And can I have your energy right now? Oh, the camera's here. There you go. You got something. She wants to be the white girl. Prime. What the fuck is wrong there? Working later on today. You know what? Let's take a quick spin. Quick little spinning. You hear me? We're gonna jump into the next vid as soon as I get back. Keep it locked in. You know how we do when we pull up into the town square. I'll be right back. Give me like 30 seconds. And then I'll excuse you. Here. Yo, you see? Nice and easy. Back at it. Let me get the next video. Boom drop. We're gonna go to Kim Iverson. Now this boy, she ain't no joke. Tell you right now, she is something to look at. Don't get it twisted. Don't even get it twisted. She's something to look at. She's definitely something to look at. So that Kim Iverson over there on the Kim Iverson show doing her thing. I ran into her like a couple of weeks ago. I've been checking her out back and forth. Good. I like her content. I like her presentation the most. I think she's super dope in her presentation. But even she ain't fucking around with it. You hear me? So we about to play the Kim Iverson thing. We about to commentary and talk about it. You hear it? Y'all are always welcome to join in the conversation. You know, that's why we do it. That's why we do it live.
Kirk. And, you know, I normally would leave a grieving widow alone, but she's now put herself in the spotlight. She's out there making the rounds. So I think that it's time and it's okay to address some of the various conspiracy theories that have been going around regarding Erika Kirk.
I like that her name is Iverson, too. I like that her name was Iverson. I do. Strange, right? No, we know why we like Iverson. Stop.
Some of these might be true. Some of them might be debunked. And we're going to go through a few of them. But first, let's just go ahead and take a look at some of the media rounds that she's been doing. Most notably, she sat down with Bari Weiss, the head Zionist of CBS News. Bari Weiss, who Tucker Carlson says should have never been promoted higher than a secretary, has been promoted to the head of ABC News. Or is it CBS News? Which one is it? I think it's ABC News. Am I wrong? Which one is it? Which one is Candace? Is Bari Weiss CBS? She's CBS News. Okay. So she sits down with Bari Weiss. This is now a lot of people are suspecting some of the conspiracies around Erika Kirk have been that she's major Zionist. Okay. That her parents are major Zionists. That her parents, her dad in particular, worked for Raytheon. It was the head of the Israeli division. and was a top head, that was helping design the Iron Dome. That her parents are major Zionists, that Trump, she was Miss Arizona 2012, and that was when it was Trump's organization at the time. The Miss Universe organization was owned by him. And the thinking, so she's known Trump for a long time. She didn't meet Charlie Kirk until 2019. And there's a thinking that Trump and his team actually set her up with Charlie Kirk, that Trump was the one who facilitated the interview. But Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk met through an interview. She was interviewing for a job at TPUSA, and Charlie Kirk infamously said, "I don't want to hire you. I want to date you." And then they started dating instead, and then they ended up married. And the theory is that Trump actually set them up, and that this is, the overall assumption. And then there's also a conspiracy theory that we're going to get into about her organization, a charitable organization linked to a Romanian children's charity that people say is linked to child trafficking.
I know y'all think I'm on my fucking mind. Did I not say that shit yesterday? Did I not bring up that Romanian angel shit yesterday? I said I'm trying to track that motherfucker down, dog, because something's going on over there. I looked at some shit. The country Ukraine comes up. The country Ukraine comes up. I don't have enough to just send a javelin where I want to send it at. But I'm telling you, when Didi brought it up, when I watched Didi video last night, Didi brought up the Romanian. I don't know if he said Romanian. I don't know if he hinted at the organization or whatever the case is. I know what he was talking about because I was just looking into it. But she just said the name of it, Romanian Angels. That's what I'm looking into. But I have a fucking job. Give me a break.
We're going to talk about that. But the premise of a lot of these conspiracies is that Erika Kirk is basically a giant Zionist and that she's doing the bidding of Israel. And it is odd that after Charlie gets killed, and a lot of people are suspicious that the reason he was killed was because he suddenly was turning on Israel, that they tried to stage an intervention, that he was, and then even 3 days before he was killed, he still said, I'm giving up on I'm giving up on Israel, basically. I'm turning my back on them. So the conspiracy is that Erika is deeply Zionist, that she's deeply entrenched with the Israelis, or that she's blackmailed or controlled by them. So it's one or the other. It's either she's got the motivation herself, or it's that somebody behind the scenes is influencing, blackmailing, manipulating her against her will. So it's either with her will or against her will. But nonetheless, the theory is that it's happening, that she was then made the CEO of TPUSA, and she's now making the media rounds, and that she's saying and doing all these things that are indicating her love for Israel, and that she is going to be making sure that TPUSA stays in the lane of pro-Israel. It's the most influential political organization for young people, and it needs to stay pro-Israel. And that's what the Israeli Zionist lobby is afraid of, that Charlie Kirk was going to take in a different direction. Although much of the TPUSA youth are already in that other direction. Whenever they hold an event, you got a lot of people standing up and asking questions about Israel and foreign influence in our government. And a lot of those kids that are at those college campuses don't like any of it. So good luck to TPUSA turning that ship around. I don't think they can. But nonetheless, they seem to be trying. And it seems, whatever the motivation be, whether it be by choice or by force, it seems that Erika Kirk is trying to steer TPUSA still in the Zionist pro-Israel lane. Now, then others argue, but Charlie Kirk is dead, so we cannot ask him. They'll say, no, Charlie wasn't turning on Israel. He was still deeply pro-Israel. He was still very much in the cause of Israel. You saw Netanyahu strangely say multiple times after Charlie was killed the same day how much of a friend Charlie was to Israel, and he was a great ally and a great friend. And, we've seen this narrative be spun at us, which is that, no, Charlie was definitely not turning on the Israel cause. He was super deeply pro-Israel. And so Erika is starting to make these rounds. And I got to say, these media rounds that she's making are not helping with the conspiracies against her. Whatever the motivation be, whether there be a conspiracy against her or
on the gang, them shit is detrimental. They're not helping. So they're not helping. They definitely heard. Yeah, for sure.
Or not. About whether she's controlled or she's doing it on her own. Her appearances are not helping. First of all, to sit down with Bari Weiss, the head Zionist of all Zionists, who was just installed at CBS News by the Ellison family, and she's been accused of being a Mossad agent. Then she sat there and did that stupid interview where she's like, "Oh, so you're Mossad? So what's Mossad exactly? I get accused of being Mossad, but what is Mossad?" Like, this head journalist of CBS doesn't even know what Mossad is. That's how stupid Bari Weiss can seem sometimes. She's made a lot of dumb statements. I don't think Bari Weiss is stupid, but I do think she's made some really eyebrow-raising comments. But nonetheless, Erika sits down with Bari Weiss. That's alarming in and of itself. I think anybody who sits down with Bari Weiss, you got to think they're probably pro-Zionist, because Bari wouldn't platform you unless you were. So here's a clip from her interview with Bari Weiss talking about Candace Owens.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the
She look like a fish that wears glasses, like a puffer fish type deal.
main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies.
Who looks at people like this? Look how she's who stares at people like this? Let me get my angry face on. I heard the name of the enemy, so now I'm angry. She really might be angry. This actually might be her real demeanor.
What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
How dare you say her fucking name?
No. Stop.
Oh, now you answer questions directly. Fair enough.
That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
On the gang, son. She about to get that. Boy.
Stop investigating the death of my husband. I don't want to know the truth. You don't need to know the truth. Nobody needs to know the truth. I mean, it's just such a strange thing. But she says, stop. Okay, by the way, she was much more forgiving of Tyler Robinson, the man accused of killing her husband. Maybe she's forgiving of him because maybe she knows he didn't do it. Something to think about.
Kim, take a breath. I don't know, you could be running around here saying that wild shit. I don't know.
Okay. In the next interview, so there she is sitting with Bari Weiss addressing Candace Owens saying, Candace, stop investigating the Egyptian planes and the Israeli connections or whatever this might be. You just stop that. Okay. In this next interview, Erika strangely says, now she's supposedly a deeply Christian woman, and she says Shabbat Shalom. I don't know of any Christian who says this, by the way. That is not a phrase Christians use, not even Zionist Christians, but here she is nonetheless saying it.
It's those little things where
this is corny, dog.
again, he would walk through the door, drop his bags, daddy's home, take his phone Friday night, Shabbat Shalom, throw it in the junk drawer, and it was just all us. And that's what I always wanted to make so special for him, was coming home. I'd always say, baby, I don't care what time you get home. Home is here for you. Your food will never be cold. It might sit out for a little bit, but I'll reheat it. It's fine. And I just want to encourage spouses, don't get mad. It's so easy. Don't do it.
Okay, super weird to just throw in that Shabbat Shalom in there. I mean, did Charlie Kirk really come home, throw his cell phone in a drawer and say to his Christian family, Shabbat Shalom? And why? I mean, if you are doing, I mean, that just goes to show how deeply surrounded you must be. I mean, even if maybe he did say that every time on Friday and he'd be like Shabbat Shalom to people on Fridays, even though he's totally a Christian, that just shows he was like so deeply surrounded by people of the Jewish faith. And then, Zionists. I mean, you just sit there and think, so was it that? Was he just totally surrounded and he didn't have very many Christian friends? And so it just kind of became habit to say, or did she just drop that?
Corny as fuck. Shabbat Shalom. Kim, I don't even have to make commentary on this because you kind of knocking this shit at the park. Go ahead.
In there to like signal that, yes, I'm still pro. I mean, obviously Shabbat Shalom, there's plenty of Jews who say this who are absolutely anti-Zionist and hate Israel and don't want to have anything to do with the country. But nonetheless, it is a strange thing to be saying suddenly in an interview, and it's like you're signaling to the
motherfuckers walk in the house, relaxing. The Shabbat Shalom, G. That's how he gets down.
The Zionist crowd, like, I'm still here and I'm still with you. She then talks a little bit more in a different interview, and these are all interviews she's been doing over the last week. She's just been making the media rounds. She's promoting her husband's book, and the book is about him honoring the Sabbath, which he did on Saturdays. Another strange thing. That's the
This is what virtue signaling sounds like and looks like. I'm sending up the signal to the homies. I'm still down with the gang. When the homies get locked up and get banger tags on them, right? And the news is there. They be like, nah, hell no, G, I don't bang. And then they be like, swoop, swoop, swoop. They be coughing like, swoop, 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 swoop. Huh? What do you say? Cold. Cold in my chest. Cold. So the homies know you're still down when they see you on the news getting put in cuffs. What type of jackass?
The Jewish day. The Muslims do it on Friday, the Jews do it on Saturday, and the Christians do it on Sunday. It's very strange that Charlie Kirk would celebrate it on Saturday. It's just all things that just are really odd. But she talks about how they honored the Sabbath.
Now, mind you, Charlie Kirk comes from the evangelist Christian life, not the Zion Christian, not Catholic Christian, not Protestant Christian, evangelist Christian. What the fuck? Evangelists running around talking about some Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, upward. Yeah. They be like, rooster. You good? Yeah. It's a cold in my chest. Cold in my chest. Rooster. Roo gang. Roo what? No, I was saying when I make my mac and cheese, I need to make a roux. You know what I'm saying? And they be like, I need to make a roux. Roux for my mac and cheese. And when I make that gumbo, I gotta roux it up too. You feel me? What is she talking about, dog? The interview gonna go like, hey yo, they got me in the blink, G. The bops came and got me. They tried to get me to snitch and tried to give me some bocklet big bookies. But I was like, nah, G, I'm bulling. But I take a bigger though. What are we talking about? He's a Pentecost? I think he was an evangelist. He's a Pentecost? Okay. Pentecost is an evangelist? Is Pentecost evangelist? No, there's Catholic, Anglican, Pentecostal evangelist? Is that what it's called? See, I don't even fucking play around with that shit. It's so many different variations of one thing that's supposed to be unified. It's weird. It is Pentecostal evangelist, ain't it? And there's Baptist too. You see, it just nah. You see.
Apparently, you guys used to actually turn the phones off, at least for a day.
Yes, Charlie would not. He would honor the Sabbath, and that's his last book he wrote, "Stop in the Name of God," is all about honoring the Sabbath. And he had to.
Yeah, I thought it was. It's not evangelical. But then he have product. Oh yeah, it's too much. It's way too much. We have. You know what? Let me pull up a page. And let me look up different Christian denomination. Boom. You already know what I was looking for. Catholic. Come on, G. Y'all know what I'm looking for. They're talking about Ukrainian, Greek, no. Just Christian denominations. That's it. Orthodoxes, evangelical, Lutherans. I don't need that. Dog. Oh my God. Why everything gotta be a fucking journey nowadays? It's like the internet is getting fucking worse. All right. Coptic, Lutheran, Puritan, Orthodox, something Reformed, holiness, another Orthodox, a Baptist, a Catholic. It's way more than that. Okay, let's look at this image real quick, and we get right back to it. Let me just clarify this. Bible field in church. What the? Oh my God. The internet is fucking trash these days. I fucking swear. The simplest fucking thing turned into this fucking maze of bullshit. Christian denominations. They named fucking 16 fucking Orthodoxes by nation. I don't give a fuck if you're a Russian Orthodox or not. I don't care. What are the different ones? They named like 14 different type of fucking Catholics. Fucking internet. I fucking hate you, mother.
Sure, it did not happen overnight. This is something that he leaned into. And on Friday night, when he would get home from work, he would turn off his phone and he would shove it in the junk drawer and he would say, Shabbat Shalom, shove it in the drawer. And he was full dad mode, fully with the kids, sports mode on Saturdays for college football. And he could breathe. He had this.
What are you looking at when you're speaking? This is weird.
Apparently, you guys used to actually turn the phones off, at least for a day.
Yes, Charlie would not. He would honor the Sabbath, and that's his last book he wrote, "Stop in the Name of God," is all about honoring the Sabbath. And he had to. It did not happen overnight. This is something that he leaned into. And on Friday night, when he would get home from work, he would turn off.
What are you looking at? Okay.
His phone,
all right.
And he would shove it in the junk drawer, and he would say, Shabbat Shalom, shove it in the drawer, and he was full dad mode, fully with the kids, sports mode on Saturdays for college football, and he could breathe. He had this sacred moment to just breathe and to rest and get away from the chatter, get away from the world, and just have a moment to understand that life is so much bigger than the to-do list, than the small problem that you're facing that you'll laugh at 5 years or 5 months or 5 minutes from now. And he was really good about that.
Again, super weird. Why is he saying Shabbat Shalom? The guy was a Christian. It's just very bizarre. Okay, then she says she saw Charlie in Israel. Let's play this.
But just know that nothing is by mistake. Nothing. I will never forget the time I was in Israel with my husband. That was the second time, but the first time with my mother on a pilgrimage. And I was standing in the ticket line, and I remember looking behind me, and in the snake of the ticket line was a guy who looked very familiar. I had no idea who he was. And I told my mom, this guy looks so familiar. And as a typical mother, she said, go and say hi. No, we were late for our flight.
That's not a typical mother. No. What the fuck is being sold?
And I'm not going to come off like a crazy person that's just weird. That ended up being Charlie. Nothing is by coincidence. Now, did I
preach? Church, tabernacle. That is, I absolutely agree. We don't believe in coincidences.
Did we know
over here either? We don't believe in coincidences over here either, dog.
Oh, no, not until we were like 3 months into our relationship and looking at timestamps, seeing that both of us were in Israel at the same time. But nothing is by coincidence when God is within you, okay? So you guys go blaze a trail, okay? God bless you all.
Super weird. I mean, just to be, we saw each other in Israel. It was fate. And then they went to Israel another time and apparently hung out with Netanyahu's son, Yair Netanyahu, which he confirmed. Here's a photograph of Erika Kirk with him. Now I don't know. I know she met him with Charlie, but she might have even met with Yair prior to Charlie. But this is the tweet that Yair put out there. And he says, I had the privilege of having lunch with Charlie and his wife, Erika, in Jerusalem when they visited Israel a few years ago. The Charlie I met was so young, yet wise beyond his years. I met someone deeply knowledgeable in history and geopolitics, someone who understood the importance of Israel to America, to the Christian people, and to the Christian faith. He recognized that our shared Judeo-Christian civilization is under existential threat from both radical Islam and the radical left. May he rest in peace, and may his legacy and message live on. So, okay, these are all
Netanyahu's son. Yes, that Netanyahu son. You see how weird this shit keeps getting? You ever see how weird this shit really be fucking getting? Okay. Shit weird, huh? She sounded like she crumped down to polka music. Upward.
Strange things, right? That are like, why are you guys trying so hard to just go full in on this?
The Zionist agenda is heavy as fuck. So when my man said, I ain't really fucking with it. These Zionist motherfuckers really the propaganda, right, that they create about themselves to then turn around and act like the victims of, right? And then they give the solution to it, like the ADL and APAC and all these fucking, and the NAACP and all these other fucking programs that they put out here that are on the face supposed to look like they are for civil rights and the benefit of the average man and the people, right? Only benefits who? One group, right? So now you start looking at the Zionist bullshit and the man that's pushing the future of America, that has the ear of the future leaders of America, the man who has galvanized pretty much the youth in America, could take the youth of America in one fucking day, have one speech, and turn their lights on. The epiphany, remember in cartoons when they get the idea, they show the bulb, boom, 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 boom. You see that fucking bulb go off? That's how much power and control he had. Hence the reason why he needed to not be here anymore. That's why I think he's gone. That's why I think they really removed this motherfucker, G. Because of influence, because of the respect that he had amongst the leaders of the new America.
You know, as people are suspecting, many people suspect the state of Israel in having a hand in Charlie Kirk's assassination. A lot of people aren't saying that Tyler wasn't involved in some way. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But what we do know is that the official story we've been fed, it's full of holes. People are not buying it. So we're trying to, you know, so people are wanting to learn a little bit more, and they're wondering, and there was a large number of cell phones at the event registered to foreigners, a lot of them disproportionately Israelis. Then you got these Egyptian planes, and they made sudden stops and they disappeared sometimes on the flight tracker. Like maybe they made stops in Israel, dropped some people off, and then went on. You know, they had some kind of moments where they disappeared on the tracker and stuff. So there's all these really strange things. And then there's this kind of doubling, tripling, quadrupling down of like, oh, Shabbat Shalom. You know, we loved Israel. We're still, and you can't just stop. Just stop. You know, very, very strange. Okay. So that's why there are a lot more conspiracies around Erika Kirk. There are people that are saying, let's look more into her. And I think a lot of us have been like, you know, let's give the grieving widow a moment. But she's now putting herself out there, doing a lot of different media rounds. And so I think it's fair now to maybe
to give us a fucking smoke. All right, Kim, big salute to you.
We take a look at some of the conspiracies. So let's start off with her parents. The claim is, have you ever
this is good.
Looked into her dad, Carl Kenneth Franceby? I don't know if I'm saying her maiden name right, but her father worked. The claim is that her father worked in the defense sector and even chaired the Israeli division of Raytheon and was an integral part in the development of the Iron Dome. This claim we could not verify. Now, he does work in the defense sector, but there is no record of the company that he's been working for actually having any sort of contracts with Raytheon or any of that. He's now dead, by the way. But there's no link of him and this claim that he was the head of the Israeli division of Raytheon. Not to say that that's not true. We just could not find that link. And so it doesn't look like that link is there. Now, I don't think her dad is the important one anyway. Apparently, her parents got divorced when she was really young. She was raised by her mother. And her mother's actually the interesting one. Because a lot of people online, they're kind of giving this, oh, it's the dad. The dad was the head of the Israeli defense sector and yada, yada, yada. And the mom, she's just a big Zionist. No. The mom is actually kind of a defense contract. I mean, she's very entrenched in the defense contract world. It's the mom who's actually working in the government. She's got various different companies, all within the defense sector. And there's some really strange activity with her mother's companies that I think could be eyebrow raising. And certainly it, at minimum, show that, look, any company that has security or defense contracts or ties probably has a lot of ties to Israel, to Israeli tech, maybe Israeli contracts, and probably wouldn't want to piss them off. If you're in the defense and surveillance sector, you're heavily tied in with the Israelis. So you don't want to upset anybody. You don't want to lose your funding. Now, this is Erika talking. This is back in 2020. And she's talking about her mother, even why they moved to Arizona, why her mother moved to Arizona. And that was because she was going to be working for the Department of Defense and Department of Homeland Security.
Can I ask a question? This might be off topic. How did your mom choose Phoenix?
So she chose to move to Phoenix from Ohio because there was more of an opportunity for a female business owner out here, especially from the standpoint of she was getting involved with the government, so Homeland Security and Department of Defense. And so she had other business partners that were out here that were already in that industry, even one that was a mentor of hers. So it was really convenient to be able to come all together in one place to really have that. But my father ended up moving out here as well because my grandparents had a home out in Sun City. And so it took a little bit to get everyone out here. It took several years, but by that time, everyone was out here. So we had a little bit more family than just us.
Okay, so we know now her mother did work in the Department of Defense and Department of Homeland Security. That was confirmed by Erika. But also look at her LinkedIn. This is Lori Franceby, and she is the chairman and founder of AZ Tech, of G Tech, of E3 Tech, master's degree at University of Cincinnati. So she at least has these three heavily tech companies that are heavily involved in defense sector contracts. Not only that, but she also is on the board for another company called Superfeed, which is interesting. But before we go to Superfeed and what's kind of strange about that one, all of these companies that she has, they're all very much tied to defense contracts.
So Erika is smoking fucking Joe right now. I don't know if y'all are really tracking what she's fucking saying right now, but she is going fucking crazy right now. And by the end of the show, I'm put a button on it. I'm telling you, the shit that I'm stacking up right now is fucking crazy. But I'm gonna give you a pre-hint. Let me pre-warm the fucking oven, all right? Preheat it. Candace brought up the military being tied to what? Religion and churches, which we already know from day one, military and religion has been tied together, especially when these countries have been, especially when you talk about religious wars that have been fought for centuries, been fighting religious wars in territories across the globe, point blank period. There's been a religious tie to a lot of these fucking wars being fought. Be like, well, not everybody in the military has the same religion. I get that. Cool. Calm the fuck down. When you look at the Templars versus the Catholic Church, that's a religious war, right? When you look at the religious war that Albert Pike wrote about between the Christians and Islam, that's a religious war. How many times have Islam and Christians fought? How many times have religion played a role in where people stand at? Because remember, when you have tribes tend to have religions tend to have culture, these things tied together. So what happens is normally and naturally when people are opposed, true culture, which normally is attached to religion, tribe, where they stand at and how they get down, they start to be warring factions. But we're not going to act like religion ain't a part of people's fucking culture. We can't do that because that's fucking hyper disingenuous. It's hyper fucked off. But what Candace exposed is the fact that there's a motion right now to attach military to government, but not just regular military ops like what I pretty much just described. We're talking about deep state operations, clandestine cloak and dagger behavior. That's what Candace brought up the other day. Shout out to my man, my Grant M. Love. What up, G? You already know, bro. You can't separate the two. in no way, shape, or form. We've watched it constantly back and back. Even when you talked about when these tribes, these rural tribes from back in the day, that you say, my ancestors is a sky person, my ancestors a water person. They wasn't jacking that shit. They was beefing over that. Right? It's ingrained into the culture in a lot of these fucking places. Today, it looks a little bit different because the military is way more accepted. Like, okay, you practice Judaism, you practice Islam, you practice Buddhism, you practice Christianity, you don't practice shit. Matter of fact, you over here with your weird haircut, you like Satan, right? They accept everybody. But Candace is drawing a connection between church, military, black, dark ops. And it's showing itself. If you're not hearing what she's saying is this lady is directly attached to ops through the tech field. The tech field is major, especially when I already had the fucking show when I told you about Peter Thiel and them being attached to JD Vance and them in the fucking new technocrat age that they want to bring the fucking country in. Well, it's already there, but the new technocrats are in the house. I fucking had a whole fucking show about Planeteer and I explained it to the fucking T. Who they were, what they did, who owns them, what's their fucking agenda, and how are they connected so deeply, and how they could walk into the White House at any fucking time. I already did this fucking show. So now you see how shit be always fucking connected, like I've been fucking saying when I drew y'all that fucking diagram, and I showed the diagram of how these people are not so far that people fucking don't realize. Shit was so fucking weird when I started drawing this fucking diagram. Trump, Fannie, YSL, all connected. Fannie connected to fucking to Charlie Kirk through the J6 event. Now when you go into the J6 event, now you could dump Nick Fuentes' fucking face in that shit also. This shit is not fucking separate. We need to stop thinking about these things like they're fucking entities in boxes that are so compartmentalized and so separated that they're miles away from each other. They're not. It's a diagram. And you remember my diagram, in the middle of my diagram, I started with Trump. And I just started drawing lines. Hillary, Bill, ADL, AIPAC, Israel, Zionist. Boom. Went from there. I just drew this shit out. You know what I drew the other day? Maureen Comey is attached to all this shit because she prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell, P. Diddy, and motherfucking Jeffrey Epstein. What did he say? Yes, Maureen Comey, the daughter of James Comey. Y'all can think I'm fucking losing my fucking mind and I'm crazy. All the fuck you want to do? I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But this shit right here is a video documentary that will stand the test of time until YouTube say we about to wash your shit. It's washed. But I'm telling you for sure, when you hear it, you're going to hear this shit come up time and time and time again. You're going to hear these names, Palantir and Watch. All these motherfuckers are connected through that technocratic new fucking bullshit where they want to destroy borderlands. Hence the reason why. Hence the reason why the borders was open in America so much. To create a whole new demographic of people that turn into the melting pot that one day it'd be everybody's everybody. Hence the reason why the UN and the NWO is still a thing being talked about in the shadows. This is not small. This is not small fries we're talking about. The boogeyman under the mattress is a real thing, dog.
Her own security company, the website says Joint Service Achievement Medal for classified operations during Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. Okay. So she's clearly heavily in the defense sector, got a lot of contracts with the defense sector. The company that they said that Erika's dad had founded was ATech, or AZ Tech, sorry. And no, he actually just worked for Erika's mom. So he was actually a subordinate to Erika's mom. At least that's the research. That's what it came back at. It's a little bit confusing because I know that they did divorce at one point, but I don't know if he still worked for her mother's company after they got a divorce, or did he work for the company? And then when they got a divorce, he stopped working there. I'm not really sure what that is, but from the records of what we could find, the dad also worked for AZ Tech, but he was not the founder and CEO of AZ Tech. He was instead in a lower position than her mother. Her mother's the founder and at one point CEO. So here's another thing that was a little bit strange. So Superfeed is it's a company that's often heavily connected to TPUSA. A lot of people kind of view it as one of the same as TPUSA, but it's not. It's actually a separate company. And Superfeed basically is a company that gives campaign website campaign apps to candidates, and they kind of white label it. So a candidate that TPUSA maybe is backing, they would say, we got an app you can use, and you can put your whole campaign on this app, and it makes it great for campaigning and yada yada. And then, the candidate then gets this app, gets the technology for the app, and then puts their own logos and puts their own messaging on it, whatnot. So it just kind of looks like it's individual for each candidate, but it's actually run on the same tech. And Erika's mother is on the board for Superfeed. Well, Superfeed was involved in this really strange scandal, and we don't really know what exactly happened, but Carrie Lake there was a bribery scandal involved with Superfeed and Carrie Lake. And apparently they basically had tried to bribe her to stay out of the race, out of the Senate race. They wanted her to not run. We don't have any clue as to who they wanted to run instead, but there was somebody else that they wanted, and they were basically trying to bribe her to not be involved. Or they were bribing, I'm not sure if they were bribing her directly or if they were bribing somebody else, but it was basically the premise of it was they didn't want Carrie Lake to run. And they said, you know what, just wait your turn, is kind of where we heard that before. It's not your turn, somebody else's turn right now. And so they wanted her to step aside and let this other person run. And Carrie Lake ended up exposing the whole thing. She recorded a conversation and she ended up exposing it. And the guy that was involved had to ultimately step down from Superfeed. Now, Erika Kirk's mother never made a statement about this. There's nothing on record about her saying anything, but it just goes to show, I think, with the mother being on the board of this company, with these donors being very large and involved in Superfeed to the point where they could actually tell certain candidates like Carrie Lake step aside, it just goes to show how powerful and how politically influential a company like Superfeed is. And the fact that Erika Kirk's mother sits on the board of this company, and the fact that she then has several defense contract companies, and the fact that they've received medals for classified operations during Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom, goes to show that her mother is quite...
What did he say? It is a Buddhist necklace. It is the Buddha palm necklace right here. Can I zoom in on this? Can I get a zoom? No zoom capabilities. Is this a Buddha palm? G Honda. We digging through the thought process of all of it right now, G. But people are saying that. People are saying that he did, for sure. They are saying that. It is a Buddha palm necklace. Oh yeah, with your good eyes. It is a Buddha. What if you're a Christian? Why the fuck you wearing a Buddha palm necklace? Because that's exactly what the fuck this looks like. The palm. That's what it looks like to me from here. Yeah, your eyes too small. I don't think the size of your eyes has anything to do with your vision. I'm not an optometrist. This definitely looks like a Buddha's palm. They said the same about Tupac. I agree.
Quite prominent and at the top echelons of the defense sector and political sector, and where they intersect. And I think it's an intriguing question to ask, which is, okay, if you are at the top levels of politics, which we know is all the Republicans are bought off by AIPAC, for example, and if you are also at the top of defense, if you are dealing with lots of defense contracts and have many defense companies, then I think it's a fair question about what do you think about Israel and exactly.
Kim Iverson, you up vastly and quickly becoming my favorite person.
And why? Is
you becoming my favorite person really, really quick?
Is it because you have deep held religious beliefs and you're just a Christian Zionist because of your beliefs? Or is it because you've got a lot of money in the game? Or is it because you're heavily invested? Like, what exactly is it? But I think it's fair to say that, you know, there could be, if your own mother is saying, look, we're pro-Israel because look, honey, we got all these defense contracts and we do all these things to help keep Israel safe. And maybe it's coming from a place of, I'm just a major Christian Zionist and one day Jesus is going to come back. And then, you know, we got to get all the Jews to Jerusalem in order for that to happen because I'm a dispensationalist, right? Like maybe it's coming from that, sure. Or maybe it's coming from a completely different motivation. And it doesn't really matter what the motivation is it kind of points towards this, but you know, the contracts, the alignment, the affiliations, all this point towards being heavily Zionist because a lot of people in the defense sector are. And if that's the case, then is Erika heavily Zionist? One would think. She was raised by her mother, but of course you don't always have the same views as your parents. But then, you know, we don't know what was going on behind closed doors. And Erika Kirk has made it very public and often, and she's right to do this, to say, I think she's personally right on this point, that whatever squabbles you have between you and your spouse, you should keep it to yourself. Like you shouldn't make that public. You shouldn't go talking to your friends about it. Because the minute you do, your friends start judging, everybody starts judging, and then your spouse can't overcome it, and your private conversations become, you know, kind of a mess for your friends and family members, and everybody gets judgmental. Everybody's protective of the one that they're related to or that they're friends with. And so Erika said several times when she was on Charlie Kirk's show that, you know, she believed in keeping their squabbles private. Did they squabble about Israel? Were they not on the same page? Was Charlie starting to change his mind? Was he starting to say, look, I don't know if I could support this anymore? And even then, Erika said that it was an evolution. And she didn't know him she met him in 2019. They married in 2021. And he just died this year. So they didn't know each other for that long, really. I mean, you know, it's not that long. And she said it was an evolution. So while she had known him in that short period of time, I mean, just think since the beginning of the pandemic, I mean, really is what we're talking about. Since the beginning of the pandemic till now, Charlie Kirk had changed and had started saying things like Shabbat Shalom. Like this isn't something that that was ingrained in him by his parents when he was younger. This wasn't a belief system that he'd had for a long time. She said it was an evolution that got him to that point where he was celebrating the Sabbath on Saturday and saying Shabbat Shalom to people while she knew him. I mean, it's kind of weird, you know.
Yeah, it is. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I fucks with it.
It's just, I think it's worth questioning. Like, what exactly was their dynamic? What was her thinking about Israel? What was that all about? Were they on the same page? I think is the big question. And not that I'm accusing her of, you know, anything nefarious against her husband. I'm not. But at the same time, I'm also not, because I also think that spouses should always be the first suspect because they usually are. So I think it's.
What did you say? My G, you didn't know? You already know, dog.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
Hit the buttons when y'all pull up in the room doing it. Y'all like, nah, we get down. What you got upwards? What's the hoopla with CO? She's even weirder than you gotta clarify weirder. Because we locking in on this one thing. There's a history of Candace, right? Got it. Cool. Got it. But we lock it. If I'm locked in on this one right now. To talk about Candace and Candace's history, I don't have. That's not my focus right now. I put it like that. That's not my focus right now. I'm focused on what she's putting out here and the question that she's asking, and why her questions and her energy is relevant. That's what I'm focusing on right now. I'm focusing on why TPUSA is so fucking shady and lacks the basic level of transparency. That's what we're focusing on right now. I'm focusing on if this motherfucker is alive or if he's not. Yeah, I'm jacking it. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. I'm focusing on this lane right now because there's something in here. There's something in here, and I'm gonna reveal it soon. Where we at? All right, cool.
It's fair. I mean, it's not like I'm being, out of line, stepping out of line by saying, well, somebody was killed. The first person you should look at is the spouse. Now, I get it. This was a very, she was not the person who took the shot that killed him, right? I mean, obviously. But, spouses have hired hitmen. That's not out of the realm of, we hear about this. So hire people to kill their spouses. I don't think spouses are, I don't think it's out of line to suspect a spouse. In fact, I think that's what they usually do. But right now, because this is such a high profile assassination, people don't even want to look at this. Oh, no, we can't. That's just so awful. You're just a really bad person if you even look at the spouse. I don't think so. I think it's fair game. You have to. It's an investigation. Somebody's dead. And so you have to investigate. That person deserves in their, in the afterlife. Maybe God's already told them what happened. But nonetheless, we deserve to get to truth on this and not to cover it up. We don't live in a free society or a democratic society if we keep covering up murders. Not that that's necessarily what's going on, but it's certainly, something's really clearly not adding up. Okay, so let's get to the claim that Erika Kirk started a charitable children's organization that has been linked to sex trafficking. I know this is a big one. A lot of you guys want to know about this. Okay, Romanian Angels is so the organization she started was called like Heroes Helping Heroes or something like that. Had nothing to do with, it didn't say anything about Romania. Nothing, it was just like Heroes Helping Heroes. It was something like that. It was sweet, She started it after she was Miss, and I have family members and I know friends that have competed in these pageants, and they all start charitable organizations. It's kind of what they do after they win these pageants. And it's a great thing. And some of them have really wonderful little organizations that they do, and some of them grow bigger and, they're not so little. But she had this organization. The thing is, though, is that the organization, like a division of her organization was Romanian Angels, and they partnered with the U.S. military, which is so strange to like pick a part of the organization was like, okay, we're now going to partner with this Romanian orphanage. And
more military, more religion. This shit is getting real fucking weird. It's getting real fucking weird.
And we're going to like sponsor this Romanian orphanage. It's like so random. Like, why Romania? But anyway, our organization worked with this Romanian Angels orphanage, and they partnered with the U.S. military, which was the Marines and Army personnel stationed in Romania, and a local group called United Hands Romania to deliver holiday gifts, school supplies, and morale-boosting visits to children at the Antonio Placement Center, which was a state-run orphanage in Romania.
Yeah.
Erika Kirk, then in her early...
That's the first research I ran into. The very first pieces of research I ran into is exactly what Kim is talking about right now. Very first pieces of research I ran into right now. The Ukraine part came in weeks later on, to be honest. Because this seemed like a fucking dead end to me. I knew it was something in there, but I didn't have I needed another piece of the puzzle to walk it down line. But I couldn't find another piece of the puzzle. So I really felt like I was at a dead end, knowing that there was more there.
20s described it as a sponsorship program inspired by her 2010 and 2012 beauty pageant wins, Miss Colorado and Miss Arizona. She was runner-up twice for Miss Colorado, and then she switched over to Miss Arizona and won. It involved no formal adoptions, international relocations, or financial transactions beyond donations. Activities were limited to occasional events and shipments of toys and clothes. The project ended around 2015 with no public closure announcement, and the nonprofit's tax records showed minimal activity overall. The trafficking allegations. Posts claim, online, that the program snatched children from poor Romanian villages for sex trafficking, organ harvesting, or exploitation in UK and Israel, disguised as mission trips or English lessons. Some allege up to 86,000 children were trafficked via evangelical networks. These ties to the Romanians, these tie into...
It was Romania. My bad. I lied. The Ukraine thing was something different. The Ukraine thing was something complete. It was Romania. Yeah, I lied. It was Romania. It was not Ukraine. That is absolutely my fucking fault. It was not Ukraine. I was wrong. It was not Ukraine. The Ukraine thing was something different that I stumbled across at the beginning of the thing with Ukraine and Russia, where yes, that was something different. But it was Romania. My bad.
To Romania's well-documented history as a European trafficking hub. This has been documented by Al Jazeera, New York Times, talking about a lot of these really terrible child sex rings. But fact checkers note that reports predate or are unrelated to Erika Kirk's work. Now, Colonel Otto Buscher, this is the central hook. Buscher, a U.S. Army colonel, affiliated with the Marines Black Sea Area Support Team, was thanked by Kirk in a 2012 Vimeo promotional video for his unit's support in delivering gifts to the orphanage. Now, social media claims he ran a child trafficking brothel at a nearby U.S. airbase, Mihail. I don't know how to say that, but at that place, you see it on the screen. The accusations against Busher stem from a 2019 criminal complaint filed by Anna Marie Nuciu, a former base translator with Romania's DICOT, which is the Anti-Organized Crime Agency. She alleged that there was a prostitution ring involving Busher, his adjutant, Lloyd Sparks, and others, backed by messages, photos, and audio evidence of payments for services. Okay, so there was an allegation against this colonel that he was running some sort of a sex ring. And Colonel Otto Busher was also connected to Erika Kirk's organization. And Erika Kirk's organization strangely helped this Romanian orphanage, which I do, it's like, why would you choose Romania? I mean, if it were me, and I don't know why she chose Romania. She's not Romanian, I don't think. I mean, maybe, but I'm pretty sure her heritage is Swedish. I mean, if it were me and I were picking an orphanage and I wanted to pick one around the world, I'd probably pick like a Vietnamese one or something, right? Or I don't. So it just seems so that part is like, why would you choose that particular orphanage to work with? And you're like sponsoring these kids to do, all these variety. I don't know exactly what you're. But then you've got this colonel and he's involved with your organization, and now he's also being accused of running a child sex ring with this orphanage. Now, no charges were filed against Busher or others. The probe stalled due to a U.S.-Romania agreement granting the U.S. extraterritorial jurisdiction over its personnel. So that's kind of like what we see with Israel now, right? Like they whisked the guy, like who was that guy that he was arrested for trying to have sex with like a 14-year-old or something? And he was working for the Israelis in Netanyahu's office, and they whisked him away, and he's never going to see jail time. They're not bringing him back, right? Like he just got whisked away, and Israel says, "Oh, we're gonna handle it. Don't worry." And this guy's like sipping, martinis somewhere in Israel. Like a lot of guys that run off to Israel after they've been accused of rape or pedophilia here in the United States, and that's a true fact. So the U.S. steps in and says, "No, you're not allowed to investigate this guy. Like we'll do it. Trust, we'll do it." So that's where the allegations come from, is that she's tied to this Romanian orphanage and to this colonel, and the colonel was accused of running a child sex ring in Romania. And there's the allegations are thousands and thousands of children, and the U.S. government essentially were able to get away with ensuring that investigation got shut down because of a 2001 U.S.-Romania agreement. Weird.
Thank you. I'm putting it in a bundle. Because I got locked off. It was Romania. Well, you figured it out. I was dead locked off, but appreciate you. I was stuck like Chuck. I really was stuck like Chuck on that one. I knew it was foul. But there's another person in Utah. I don't know if they was, or Arizona. I don't know if they was a sponsor of the Romanian Angels, but this person was some type of political person also. That's the lane I was traveling. But look at Kim. Well, hold on. Where's the I think I got a baller button. You get that one. Moving on. Yo, so M Love, yes. So that's when, so that interview right there when he was with Sean Ryan over there, right? That's the interview that exposed the fact that they lied about the drones. That was the expose about the drone lie. So the drone lie came way later on, when the initial lies about Charlie Kirk's thoughts and how his heart changed and how he was pivoting away from the Zionist agenda motion, movement, the stereotypes that they lean into. Those are the early lies. The drone lie was more recent, but yes, you are right. You're absolutely right, my G. Yo, she is gorgeous, low key. No, high key. She's gorgeous.
Okay, the last claim.
I would take her to, if I had to take her on a date, I would take her to like to my kitchen. I'd cook for her. I would take her to my kitchen and cook. She's smart, very extreme. To me, she's good looking. To me, she's dope as shit. To me, she's pearl earrings, light lipstick, red nails, long hair, black turtleneck. Seems her behavior, how she comes across. She could get a nice hot meal. But Kim, be absolutely aware. My dinner table is where I shoot my show from. So you'll be eating at the island bar. I have an island in the kitchen, so that's where you'll be eating at. Or you can eat in the living room and watch TV. But we have to watch House. That's it. Have to watch House. You got to deal with it. That's my stipulation.
That and again, I'm not saying that Erika knew anything about it or that she was involved in it. I'm not saying that she is. So I'm just saying I'm just telling you what's happened here. This is why there's that allegation out there. I do think it's interesting and strange to sponsor of everywhere in the world a Romanian orphanage, and then it just so happens that this orphanage is connected to these, Christian organizations and to this colonel and evangelicals and Israel and all this weird stuff. And then it turns out that there's allegations that some of these kids were trafficked. And for what? I mean, were they used in blackmail operations? More Epstein style blackmail?
There you go.
I don't know.
Now
but I wouldn't rule that out. That's for sure.
Now you're talking.
Okay, the last allegation, the last conspiracy around Erika Kirk is the question of the thought that Trump introduced Charlie and Erika by setting her up for an interview with Charlie, because Erika was Miss Arizona 2012, so that was in the Trump organization. So she had met Trump and known Trump well before she'd met Charlie. There's also some claims that she was a casting director.
All right, before we go into that part, I think he was sleeping with the enemy. No two ways. No two ways, especially when you talk about the connections with military, church, and I'm not saying military like the average military person is walking around like, I just joined last week and I'm fresh out of boot camp and I'm finna go to my first duty station. No, I'm not talking about those guys. We're talking about clandestine shit, right? Off the book shit, CIA, joint strike ops. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. When we start talking about those things, we start talking about CIA, FBI involvement. So when we start talking about those things, we're talking about something else. I'm gonna close out with that one. I know I'm trying not to tease it, but I don't want to just bust my load right now. You hear me? This has been going on for centuries, children are slaves to greedy society. This looks like a bot, but yes. The whole thing itself is an octopus. I've been talking about the octopus for a minute. It's not. I brought up the octopus and I brought up the multi-pronged thing. It's not a one-pronged thing. It's like a fork, right? It's a fork. It has multiple prongs on it, and they all in the same motion at the same time. Think about when you eat it, right? Think about a trident. They all in motion at the same time, and they go into the same objective. But at the end of the fork is the hand. At the end of the fork, a hand is controlling the fork. It's controlling the trident. There's like an octopus. all these legs on it, right? And all these legs are in motion to do something. The legs are in motion and they are doing things. One is grabbing this, one is grabbing that, the other one is doing something else. But at the end of the day, they all come back to one thing, and that's the brain and the head of the octopus. So all these things are in motion at the same time for fucking purposes. It's not a lost thing. So yes, I it's sad as fuck. Yes, I get it. I'm not jacking it, but it's a reality. TP is $100 million richer. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. They made dummy bread. Yo, why are you talking from this fake user? Yo, you look like a bot. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't think you. The shit that you're saying doesn't seem like you're a bot, but the name looks bottish. That's all I'm saying.
For the Miss Universe.
If you're not a bot, keep pressing.
Pageant, which means she would have worked directly for Trump. However, there is no evidence to support any of this. While Erika did compete in the 2012 Miss USA pageant, which Trump did own at the time, their paths didn't cross in any meaningful way then, and no reports linked Trump to facilitating her TPUSA application or the 2018 meeting. Trump and Charlie had a close professional alliance. Charlie was a key Trump supporter and advisor, but Erika's entry into TPUSA was driven by internal recommendations, such as from TPUSA executive Andrew Colvett, who we've been hearing a lot from lately, haven't we? Who suggested Charlie interview her. So Andrew Colvett was the one who said, hey, I got a girl for you. That's kind of interesting because Andrew's definitely been, he's the one that said that Charlie had a neck of steel. And so it wasn't Trump, but it was Andrew Colvett. I also find that.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that last night, right? A human neck. A human neck is about 30-06. When a 30-06 could drop a beast, a full-blown beast, and go through it. And go right through it, fracturing bone, lung, chest, heart, and go out the other side and fracture the other bones. You think human bones are harder than animal bones?
Uninteresting.
But that's the world that we live in, though. That's the world that we live in, where people are going to think that a 30-06 round works that way, simply because Cash Patel and them said it. He said for prison.
Because I don't know, what his ties are, or if he's tied to anything at all. And, that's the question that Candace is asking. That's getting her in hot water. That's causing Erika to say, stop, just stop. But no, I don't think anybody should stop. I think that it's fair to ask questions. The more questions, the merrier.
Yes.
That's what we need to be. We need to be asking question after question.
Yeah.
After question, especially when there's the investigation should still be ongoing. We still haven't seen Tyler Robinson convicted. We haven't even seen, a day in court with him. So up until then, he's innocent until proven guilty, which means we should still be looking for the guilty party and just be looking for the various different, strange connections that we're seeing.
Kim. This is the thing that bothers me the most, right? Pound for pound. If there was transparency, this shit wouldn't be this way. If there was that's the part that makes them look fucking guilty to me. There is no transparency, and furthermore, there is no behavior that looks innocent. They look like the people that conspired this shit the whole time. Lies, deflection, deception, bullshit talk. They so fucked up. They talking about different things at the same time. Like I say, the drone one was a monster to me. The drone was a monster to me. 1 minute they have drones where they could do this crazy shoot, that they could dump these shoots out at these different angles. Next minute, they don't have drones. The next moment, there was no drones allowed, or ... They never wanted to have the drones there. It's so yo, you can't even make sense of it. You could have the drone, and all you had to do basically was say, yo, UVU, we about to fly our drones and capture these different angles of the crowd, the conversation. But the drone won't capture the conversation per se, but the drone will capture the angles, the people, the crowd that's being drawn in, right? Because that'll draw more people in for the next college that they go to. Because people want to say, like, yo, why is this dude so attractive? Why is he so magnetized? Like, why is he so like his magnetism is there? Why is this dude so attractive to me? Why are people so attracted to him? Because if you look at Charlie Kirk, he's not good looking. He ain't no Mac in the middle. He ain't no he ain't no dude that's gonna walk down the block and just bag something. For real? Cool. So you can't say it's because it can't say it's because of his looks. So it's something else. His conversation was the draw. He could talk. He could bring people in. He could chop it down, have a conversation. Easy fucking day, right? People are drawn to hear what people have to say when more people are interested. It's this weird. I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of it. But when it's basically like on YouTube, right? If you have a moment where you go viral, then you could see a growth in your channel. And people be like, yo, why are people over here? Well, you know what? I'm gonna follow it. I'm gonna subscribe to see why it's so popping. They might just see the 10-minute clip, the 3-minute clip, and be like, yo, this shit's fucking fire. TikTok is going through it right now, and we went through the era of Vine. Remember Vines? Vines went through that era with short clip videos, and people were blowing up over Vines. Blowing up, having these short clip conversations, these short clip skits, whatever it was. So people are attracted to things that majority of people are attracted to. And it can be simply because of curiosity. Simply because they're curious to see what is going on over here. He had it. He had that factor with it. Regardless if it was coached to him, regardless if he was even paid, even if he was given scripts, he had that thing that worked. Yo, user. Okay, I don't think you're a bot anymore. I don't think you're a bot anymore.
So, we'll.
But EK, make sure you hit the buttons and not EK. Did the name just change? User, make sure you hit them buttons, Dooney, and pull up because I'm not stopping this. This is gonna. This is the legs on this is way too much. I'm at the 210. I don't know if I can burn this next video in 210. Fuck, what time is it? All right, I'm rolling right into the next video. I want to push max 3 hours. Max 3 hours, dog. Because I still got to do my closeout on what I'm jacking. I'm on personal brain. You hear me? Shout out to Didi. Didi, yo, Didi, what up, G? We gonna talk or what, bro? I'm gonna start calling you out like you're dodging me, like TPUSA be doing. I'm gonna start TPUSA in you. I'm gonna make an invitation and then like act weird about it. You hear me? Messi Mashawn is a bot. You're a bot something. I don't know what type of bot, but you probably need a little bot of me.
And I can almost guarantee you by the end of this video, you will find out several things about Erika Kirk that you will not only find.
Oh, this is the video when he started digging into history. Okay, yeah. I remember this one.
Interesting, but I guarantee you that you've never heard before. Some of this stuff you've probably heard. A lot of it that can good families work hard, rubbing the hands.
Now, yo, be clear. Didi is a super Christian. He's clean cut, not like me. We have different demeanors, different presentations, but I still respect how the fuck he get down. I don't care what nobody say. I still respect how to get down. Agree, disagree, don't care. I respect how he get there.
But these people are playing roles, in my opinion. And yes, we've already covered the fact that she was wearing a Freemason ring during her video where she was supposedly or allegedly rubbing the hands of Charlie Kirk in the casket, which I do not believe that was Charlie Kirk. Yes, we've already discussed her very odd and unusual behavior during her tribute video and also during the memorial service. I found her behavior to be very odd, which, by the way, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to go to her video and I wanted to see a woman that was grieving, and I was going to feel really bad, and I hated that she had to go through this. But I went to the video and that's not what I found. It was very odd. I'm not going to ignore my intuition and my human instincts, and everything's telling me that woman is acting. And it turns out that I'm not the only person that believes that, as many other women and mothers and widows, and not only that, but white widows. For those of you who want to say that it's a cultural disconnect, there are many other white widows that also have watched this video that I have later found out that all feel the same thing. Her behavior was odd, but I digress. We've already discussed Donald Trump's odd behavior, not just on the White House lawn when he was asked about how he was doing less than 2 days after Charlie Kirk was supposedly taken out. And he said that not only is he doing very well, but he immediately deflected to some ballroom that they're building on the White House campus. Not to mention Donald Trump dancing and celebrating on stage at the memorial as if this isn't once again a memorial. But I digress. We're not going to talk about any of that. I have a lot of new information for you because we've also already covered that Erika Kirk won the 2012 Miss USA pageant, which was owned by Trump, which, by the way, in The Evil Truth Behind the Modeling Industry on Patreon that I dropped several weeks ago, we actually discussed what actually happens to many models, as many models was interviewed a decade ago, and they exposed a lot of the people that assaulted them and what it actually takes to become a top model and to actually win. And how Donald Trump, we also covered in this series, how Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein actually worked in this industry together, both overseeing and hand selecting themselves.
Keep telling y'all, these people ain't as disconnected as y'all fucking think.
Any of the women that modeled. I want you to keep that in mind for later in this video. But I do want to share that Erika Kirk actually shared on a podcast one time that she not only never competed or participated in any pageants before, but she also never done any modeling at any.
Remember the name. Remember that name. Friend. Friend. I'm pretty sure that fucking T is probably silent, so it's probably pronounced Franzeve. Franzeve. France, the same fucking people that Candace was talking about. France, but guess what? Fuck it. I'm gonna shut. Fuck it. 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 Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? As soon as I lock it in, I'm gonna show it to you. Boom, 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 boom. Where is it? 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 No. Where is it? Boom. Here we go right here. But I'm gonna make sure y'all can fucking read. The surname France is extremely rare and likely derives from the Germanic root France. Who's got France? My name is Germanic France. From Latin, Francisius, meaning French man. Dog, the same fucking people that Candace talked about, the French. The name has Latin roots because we know the languages, a lot of the languages came out of the Latin language in itself, right? French, Spanish, Portuguese, English is German, and English, German, and Latin. But Latin was such a great prominent language. Not great, it's a prominent language. That is called a Latin languages that exist. Spanish and all that other shit, right? Cool. Moving on. Franciscus, Latin, meaning French man. Or free man with the VE ending reflecting the Scandinavian or clerical modification found in the Swedish record. And you have France, German, Franz of Francis. There's Saint Francis. What's the fucking saint from Saint Francois? I think it's Saint Francois. There you go. Right? This right here was like, oh, okay. What can I say? Right? Go back to the main joint. I'm still preload. Yep, I'm still preheating the oven. We back at it here.
Any point in her life until one random day, she received an invitation in the mail to start doing it. So the story is something that takes many women years and years and years to perfect and to accomplish. Erika Kirk was able to join and win Miss USA or Miss Arizona within a year or two in the business. Now, once again, in that Patreon video that I dropped a few weeks ago, many of the models talk about how there's only about 1 to 2% of all models, regardless of what they look like, regardless of how good they are, that actually wins, because it's more than just your performance that gets you there. But I digress, because it gets weirder. Erika Kirk was also a casting director at the same exact time that she was modeling. Now, it's not clear if she was a casting director for Trump or not, but at the same time that all this was happening, she also owned a ministry that partnered with the U.S. military in Romania. And in the same area where they were working, the locals were accusing many evangelical ministries of kidnapping children. Now, that doesn't mean that Erika Kirk did.
Once again, Romanian angels.
Get this, I'm not accusing her of orphan children. And yes, the
been able to donate a Johnny's Locker to the Sojourner Center, which you're looking at right now.
Wow.
So there's been a lot of things that have been going on, from working in the military to traveling to just being able to get out.
Well, here's another good one.
I've been in Arizona. Is she in the coldest joint in Arizona? I'm telling you, far from the coldest joint in Arizona.
For you. Did any of you know that before any of this, any of the pageants, any of the modeling, Erika Kirk, before she was Erika Kirk, was actually an actress on television? Here's a clip from Bravo's reality show, Summer House. Well, how about this? Did you all know that Erika Kirk's mom not only worked closely with the government, but specifically with Homeland Security and the Department of Defense?
Can I ask a question? It's maybe off topic. How did your mom choose Phoenix?
So she chose to move to Phoenix from Ohio because there was more of an opportunity for a female business owner out here. Especially from the standpoint of she was getting involved with the government, so Homeland Security and Department of Defense. And so she had other business partners that were out here that were already in that industry.
In fact, do you even know who Erika Kirk's parents are altogether? It says here, Erika Kirk's parents are Kent and Melanie Francevy, or Francevy. Kent Francevy was a prominent figure in the defense industry, having chaired Raytheon's Israel division and been involved in significant military projects, including the Iron Dome. Melanie Francevy's background is less publicly detailed, but the family has been noted for their connections to conservative and pro-Israel circles. Erika's upbringing in this environment, combined with her own public roles, has placed her at the center of discussions regarding influence and alleged covert operations. Now, would you look at that? So that means not only was her family, or her currently her family is very well connected, but they're influence and alleged covert operations.
Yeah, for sure. She got them demonized. Them is demonized, bro. On a gang.
Now, would you look at that? So that means not only was her family, or currently her family is very well connected, but they're connected to Israel, the same foreign nation that many Americans are not rocking with right now, including myself. And I guess that could further explain Charlie Kirk's undeniable record over the years when it comes to Israel. I don't think many people ever thought that it was just strictly about the Bible. But this also means that Erika Kirk was successful and a millionaire well before she met Charlie Kirk, because of all these ventures that she was placed into before she met him. And now she is the CEO of Turning Point USA. But let's continue. Did you know that she is actually currently considered the most powerful woman in the country? And many are suggesting that she should run for vice president in 2028.
How? This is how propaganda fucking works. Didi, I'm taking what you're saying as true, right? Cool. I don't doubt your integrity at all. I don't think you be just kicking shit in the wind. I don't think so. Simply because I watched the work that you do. Big salute to you. Usual shit. If she's considered the most powerful woman in the, and she should run for VP with J, because she did fucking what? Motherfuckers think the Manchurian candidate gonna be a motherfucking dude. They already ran that test, bro. Successfully. The next Manchurian candidate is gonna be a woman. And this is the attitude that people are having right now today for this goofy long head. This fucking what you this is his. You cannot elect anybody to be any fucking thing. I don't give a fuck if it's the mayor. I don't give a fuck if it's the union rep. I don't give a fuck if it's the head of the janitors inside the fucking school. All the way from them to state, to national, to internet, to IMF, to the banking for. If they don't have the fucking, if their main focus and goal is not for the country that they were born in, fuck them. Get them the fuck out of there, dog. The technocrats are taken over by the fucking minute. I've been fucking showed it to you. I shot the fucking show already. I already said this shit. I'm so confused about why people can't fucking see it. Earlier, Sandra said this shit earlier. And I was holding it back. But guess what? I'll probably unleash this one right now. The JD Vance connection is Peter Thielen them from Planeteer, which supported and funded JD Vance and them for this run and for the other run when Trump was running in 16, 20, 16. Peter T was the same one who supported Trump and funded that shit. These motherfuckers run Planeteer. Oh, not Planeteer, Palantir. Sorry, it's such easy because we're the Planeteers and we can do it too. And say we're not a planet, there's a thing to do. Polluting and collude is not the way. Here at Captain Planet has to say the power is no, Nick. This is called Palantir. It's not fucking Captain Planet homies, but we was all fucking running around like fucking weirdos talking about earth, fire, wind, and water. This is not Planeteer. This is Palantir. My brain thinks Planeteer all the time, but it's Palantir. His fucking business partner went on a fucking show the other day and couldn't sit down in his fucking seat. Weird as shit. But people can't seem to see simply this is Zionist shit constantly. But now JD Vance and them fuck with the Zionists. Trump fuck with the Zionists clearly. They fuck with the Zionists. She fuck with the Zionists. Charlie Kirk said, I'm not fucking with the Zionists. All of a sudden, he got to get the fuck out of here. And y'all think this shit is fucking, y'all think this shit is just, it's Sunday at fucking Bloomingdale's, right? When your mother used to wake you up and be like, I got to go shopping. And she drag your fucking goofy ass to Bloomingdale's and Macy's so she can find a fucking a work shirt and then pick up some groceries. Y'all think it's just an average fucking day in America, ain't it? All right, cool. But guess what? I got a show coming up about the fucking ignorance of fucking America. And y'all gonna be mad as fuck. And guess what? They're gonna have to eat it and live with it.
Alongside JD Vance, as many view Charlie Kirk as a future presidential candidate himself. And it also doesn't help when there are emails going out from Turning Point USA where Erika is stating that she will quote unquote carry Charlie's torch. But we'll see. Let's talk about Erika and Charlie's first date. Apparently, it was for a job interview only after a quote unquote close friend recommended that Charlie should hire her as they were celebrating a new Turning Point USA location. This was back in 2018, which is only 2 years after Charlie and Trump started working together on Trump's campaign. Remember, at this time, Erika Kirk had already been working under Trump in the modeling industry. So it would make the most sense to me that either Trump or someone close to Trump recommended Erika.
Story time. So we're here at Bill's Burgers in New York City. And right near this very table is the first time that I met Mama. And it started as a job interview. And I was asking all these questions, philosophy, religion, Jesus. And then I realized Mama was beautiful and smart and elegant and Christ-like. And so I said, forget this job interview. I want to date you. And I said, I have enough friends. And that's where your journey started.
Why is that on record? Why is that on record? When I see shit like this, I think about things that have to be put in a certain perspective so it looks a certain way. Just like how they say celebrity couples, you got Hove and Beyonce, right? You got what's buddy name from Avengers? Big Nose, him, and now Megan Good. You got this person and this person, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. You got these things. These things don't seem organic as fuck. I met her on the set of Designing the Living Room. Then I realized I was in love with her. Are you out your fucking mind? Y'all are both actors. Who the fuck knows who's telling the truth at any time? No, it's design. These things are put out there to look a certain way. So the fucking dream, the vision, the bullshit, the matrix keeps moving on. People want to sit here and actually believe they will walk outside their fucking house and walk into the love of their life. Because you saw it in the Notebook. Because you saw it in these fucking movies. You saw it on Disney. It's put in cartoons. It was made for you to believe in these fucking things that don't even fucking really be practical or even fucking reality based. You don't see bitches on TV fall in love with ugly motherfuckers. You don't see motherfuckers with scarred up fucking faces, limped up fucking arms, banged up bodies, falling in love, and a bitch be like, yo, I just love the way you limp. It be the 6'5" motherfucker that look like he chiseled in stone, hard bodied. You feel me? Hella gangster, wrecking shit all the time. Every time he walk around, motherfucker just bowing down when he come through. And now he be like, yo, it's you. She be like, oh, I love you too. It's magic. We walking around with people that walk around here and swear to God that life is real, but they looking for fucking magic to exist. At the same time, they already got fucking 4 fucking children, 4 motherfuckers. But they still looking for magic. This world is tossed. It's fucking lost, bro.
And I've already covered the weird story of the 72-year-old man that supposedly started Turning Point USA with an 18-year-old Charlie Kirk after convincing him not to go to college. But I digress. Anyways, Erika has also shared the story of seeing Charlie in Israel. So there's the Israel plug once again. And notice that he looked familiar, but was too afraid to approach him. And then they would run into each other again in America, supposedly. And if I haven't blown your mind yet, keep listening. Did you know that Charlie Kirk's family was closely and heavily tied to Donald Trump as well, as his parents worked really, really closely in the Trump Tower? It says here, late Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk's parents were longtime Trump allies. Charlie Kirk's parents worked with Donald Trump long before the presidency. Unlike their extraordinarily famous son, Charlie's parents did not spend a lot of time in the spotlight. Not much is known about his mother, Kimberly Ann Kirk, but we do know that Charlie's father was Robert K. Kirk, and Robert had a pretty strong connection with Trump long before his son did. It's unclear exactly how Charlie and Trump became acquainted, but it's likely that it was through his father and the work he once did for the Trump organization. Kimberly's career and her affiliations are mostly unknown, while Robert was a businessman who worked as a project architect manager on Trump Tower in New York City. Now, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Once again, as I always say, it's the weird connections. How many people do you know are able to create a multi-million, well over $100 million yearly annual budget organization by the time they're 25 years old? Not saying that it's impossible, not saying it's never been done before, but you have to be connected to the right people. You have to be selected to do these type of things in this world. What we were taught as children, how you can do it, and you can make it, and you can become whatever you want. It's a lot of stuff that was left out, like privilege, like connections, like being a part of these secret organizations and societies. But not only that, Erika attended a Jesuit university, which is Regis University, located in Denver, Colorado. And her grandfather is a guy by the name of Carl Kenneth Franzvi, who was the vice president of American Banking Note Corporation, which is the same one tied to secure printing and IDs, and was Grand Chief of the Independent Order of Vikings, knighted by the King of Sweden. But we go a little bit deeper.
This information I already seen. I've seen this information.
Deeper. Meanwhile, Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA UK launched at the Royal Automobile Club under Prince Michael of Kent, Grand Master of Freemasonry. George Farmer, who was Candace Owens' husband, sat as chairman, tied to Andrew Tate long before Candace. So it begs to differ, begs the question, is Erika Kirk a CIA Mossad plant cosplaying as a trad wife that was hand selected to be Charlie Kirk's wife?
Now, this is where I'm going to give you a flash of what the fuck my brain was thinking. Mind you, I didn't watch this fucking video from Diddy. I read the title from Diddy. Because Diddy does solid work. I just trusted it. But this was the thing that was been brewing in my brain. I'm about to swap it over.
One could even argue similar to how Melania was hand selected for Mr. Donald Trump himself. But I'm not done. The biggest red flag, in my opinion, whether you all agree with me or not, is Erika Kirk and Charlie Kirk's children. Now, I noticed this before, but it's really stood out to me since. Can anybody, anywhere, on any platform, Google, Instagram, YouTube, interviews, can anybody find a solid photo of what Erika and Charlie Kirk's children looks like? Yep, you heard me right. Because that matters. Because you have some people who are going as far to say that they believe that this Erika Kirk and this Charlie Kirk relationship was completely arranged and that they probably weren't together like the public thought that they were. Many that works in the industry, in the music industry, whether they're in interviews, whether they're out to eat, even though it's easy to find his, he does not want his children. Are you all going to make that same argument for a photo? What's your point? What are you getting at? Well, I don't fully know what I'm getting at outside of the fact that once again there are many more red flags when it comes to this situation. Things aren't adding up, and there's a certain picture that's being painted here. And the more and more we investigate, it's becoming more and more obvious to me that these people that are placed in front of us are not who we think. Even though we want to believe that so badly, they're just not, right? So at the very least, right, you can't get reached like that.
Diddy. Good job, bro. Amazing fucking job. Amazing job. Big salute to you. You know how I get down, bro. You know you're my mans, bro. I'm gonna static for you, bro. Let me close that one down. Let's go back to this one right here. You can't tell me I'm not seeing what the fuck I'm seeing, boy. Ain't no way. You don't see it. You don't see it. But I got someone cooking. But let me tell you something right the fuck now. With this connection between these clandestine military black ops, cloak and dagger shit, her mother being involved, her having the blonde hair connection to Marilyn Monroe, knowing what Marilyn Monroe was doing from Project fucking Monarch. That was a subsect from MK Ultra. This shit was sick. This is a fucking demon, bro. This is a demon. I'm telling you, I'm not fucking jacking it. Something inside of me is telling me no. Something inside of me is telling me no. I said the fucking word. I told you at the end of the night I was gonna fucking say it. This is the same fucking shit that Kennedy ran into dealing with Marilyn Monroe. Don't you ever in your fucking life get it twisted. Let me show you one more. It was to the end. It was more towards the end. Where was it? Where was it? I'm trying to find it. And she had to get gangster when she was gangsterizing.
Would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day?
You know, that there is more of it now because you do shine your light. I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected. They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it. Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's what the conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, serious point, it's what the conspiracy.
The glamour doll idea. Look up Monarch. Go look up fucking Monarch. And it's the fucking exact same thing we staring at. Monarch built these fucking things for these reasons. These specific things for these specific fucking reasons. Yo, give me a second. We're gonna close out. Quick spinning. Oh my God. I see the line and the connection to it. I do. From Sigmund Freud to Mengele to the Dulles to MK Ultra to Project Monarch to Marilyn Monroe, the Jane Russell, to this stage we at today. They place these things that they create amongst these powerful men for influence. We know when you put some nice, good box in a man's bed with GFE treatment, you know you could influence some things with inside the men. This is already discovered. This is old fucking things we talk about. Well, Trin, how could she be ever even in that position? Her mother has a direct line line to technocrats. Her father was absent. Did we not already hear about them divorcing when she was young and et cetera, and all this other shit? Y'all think it's a fucking game out here. I don't think it's a game at all. That's what my brain is at. When Charlie went off script, they had to go fix it. That's what I'm standing at. Like it, don't like it, jack it, don't jack it, dog. That's where the fuck I stand at. And maybe my mind will change tomorrow when I get more information. Maybe my mind will change next week when I get more information. But as of today, right now, in this fucking very second, in this hour, in this minute, that's where the fuck I stand at. This shit is goofy as fuck. Ain't none of this shit pure. Ain't none of this shit got no fucking real authenticity to it. From her to motherfucking TPUSA to the feds, all the way up the chain. This is controlled shit that we are fucking watching, and this is some shit that people are jacking. Like it's all these winky dinkies. People are looking at these things like the shit that don't make sense makes sense because somebody says it makes sense. Don't ever say, wait, hold on. So the dude jumped up. So you couldn't identify the dude. You use AI tech that made a dude like a dude. Then the dude turned out to be a right winger that turned into a left winger because he had a alternated lifestyle with a furry. The furry disappears, and everything is just sewed up. You found a 30-yard six in a backyard, just cooling out by itself. Fingerprints is there. Everything is just that lined up. When the homies swing blocks and they switch shit out in 30 seconds and you don't know who did work. What are we talking? Yo, let me tell you something. When shit get confusing, go back to the most simplest framework of thought. Go back to the simplest frameworks and do the W's. Who? When? Why? What? Where? When you go to the 5 W's, then you could go into the fucking next one. How? How? Just ask questions. But when you ask questions nowadays, you become labeled as a conspiracy theorist, like this motherfucker just said. We go back to the beginning. And you said the word conspiracy with your jagged ass teeth. Proud. Conspiracies. Because now you have to denounce people who are thinking and people who are not accepting the bullshit that people kick. Because now they become labeled again. Park your shit elsewhere, dog. I'm not jacking out of that shit. Yo, once again, I appreciate everybody for pulling up again to the town square and doing what we do the most. We just kick back and we just talk, have conversation, and slam ideas across the board, G. I appreciate all the support. Y'all know how I get down, bro. I'm humble as fuck. Most times. Until I start tweaking. But they both wearing their crosses to signify. You can't signify the cross and talk about Shabbat Shalom. Not jacking it, bro. It's a bunch of fuckery being sold because guess what? It's not about America first. If y'all are still lost on the ideology that they are thinking about America fucking first, y'all got to start doing a little bit more looking, a little bit more listening. You hear me? And I'm telling you this because I fuck with y'all in a deep, deep, deep way. Village gang, y'all know I fuck with y'all in a deep way. He and I Sim Slim Trim, and I'm built to win. I'm Granny's baby. I'm numero uno. I am Flaco Fuerte, the real McCoy. I am the host that would never do the least, but I would always never, ever overdo it and do the most. Take care of yourself so you can take care of people that's around you. You gotta love yourself so you can love the people that is around you. This thing in life is not a sprint. Take it easy. It's a marathon. Train every day like the marathon is tomorrow. Be prepared, but never be scared. Scary shit for the other people. Don't be scared. Just be aware. You hear me? I see y'all motherfuckers in a couple hours so we can bang that shit and scream, fuck that week. You hear me? Tonight we're going to party up and chill. Y'all are all invited to come kick it over here. Subscribe, like, share it. Y'all already know it's a love thing.